It is time to continue on with the prospect pool overviews with the Detroit Red Wings this time around. The Red Wings have a pretty solid prospect pool with already a pretty young core, which is a good thing because you never know if, the young core guys are going to fail or one of your prospects is going to fail and not become what he's projected to be. I can guarantee you that at least one of the 10 in the Red Wings prospect pool is not going to pan out, just being blunt. I'm not going to say which one, but it's good to have that many guys in their pool. And Detroit, who has been in this position for almost 10 years now, is good at that spot. But we're getting to that point where the Red Wings are getting ready to start making playoff pushes soon. You can tell they are improving more and more every single year. So the pool may get worse at points, but still, it's a very solid prospect pool looking at it. Now, let's kick this off with Nate Danielson, who was born in Red Deer, Alberta, is 6'2", 187 pounds. He was drafted in the 9th overall slot in 2023. He is a center, projected to be. He spent this past year with the Grand Rapids Griffins, and in his first year, put up 71 games played, 12 goals, 27 assists for 39 points. He's got a great 200-foot game. He's got a really good two-way of the ice type of game. He's got a good shot and good stick handling as well. And those are the two qualities that you need to have success in the NHL. However, I am not as high on Danielson as some other people may be. There's actually been a lot of hate in the Red Wings community for Nate Danielson. Every single proposed trade that I see out of the Red Wings media is involved with Nate Danielson. Nate Danielson is involved in some aspect, whether it's, he's being traded as a prospect in a move to get somebody better, or something like that. That's really what I've seen from Nate Danielson. But I do think he's a really good player. Unfortunately, I do think his upside may be a low-end, mid-tier, second-line center. I don't think he's really going to be anything more than that. His WHL numbers kind of say the same thing. So I'm not too sure what is to come there with him. But honestly, I think he is an NHLer. We'll see if it's with the Red Wings, but I think he can be a really good third-line center in the future. Michael Bransag Negard played alongside Axel Sandine Pellikka this past year with Skelty and put up some good numbers there, as well as playing with the Grand Rapids Griffins in the playoffs. He was born in Oslo, Norway, is 6'1", 207 pounds, was drafted 15th overall in 2024. He played 45 games in the SHL with Skelty. He had 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. Didn't put up the greatest numbers, to be honest with you. He didn't absolutely shatter the Swedish league. But again, you got to remember that the Swedish league is a little bit lower of scoring. And guys who are as old as Negard, being 19, it's kind of crazy that he put up those numbers as it is. And it's not super impressive, but it's still good that he's getting that experience. He has a really quick release. That's what I've noticed with his shot. He does have that little bit of a veteran IQ from what I can tell. And that does come when you play a full year in the SHL. Again, you got to remember that this was his full year in the SHL as well. The Red Wings want to get him over to Grand Rapids ASAP. So he's probably going to be playing with them next season. So his stint in the SHL is done. But I expect for his point numbers to just dramatically rise. I would not be surprised if they do. I just think this kid has a lot of skill and a lot of talent. And I really am a big fan of him for making it down in the Red Wings roster next season. Carter Bear is a very interesting case. He is titled for me as a diamond in the rough for the Detroit Red Wings. He was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, 6 foot, 179 pounds. He was drafted 13th overall by Detroit this past draft. He is a center/left wing, and this past year with Everett put up 82 points in 56 games played, scored 40 goals. Very solid year, incredible year at that. He missed the last couple of weeks of his season due to an injury, so that's why his points are a little bit lower than some of the other ones. But he went on an absolute tear for the Everett Silvertips, and if he played in the playoffs, they would have gone on a pretty big run. That's for sure. I like Bear. I think he really has the skills to be a dangerous NHLer. The only concern for me is just his overall two-way game. that's obviously a concern with some players. But when you have the offensive power that Carter Bear has, I don't really think it's that big of an issue. He has a great compete. That's what I've seen from his highlights. Really good NHL work ethic. He works hard, gets in the areas that you may not want to go in for some players. So that's something that Carter Bear really has. Great offensive skill, can move the puck very well. I am very excited to see this player in the NHL very, very soon. I think he spends another year with Everett in the WHL and then comes over. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Carter Bear in the NHL. He is going to be very exciting for Detroit. This is the guy that the Red Wings have been waiting for a very, very long time. Axel Sandine Pellikka was drafted 17th overall in the 2023 draft. He was born in Gallivare, Sweden, 5'11", 185 pounds. He spent this past year in Skelfedy alongside Michael Bransag Negard, had 29 points in 46 games played as a 20-year-old defenseman. 19, actually, at that point, because he was born in March. Some phenomenal numbers in the SHL. He did great, and that's his third year. You can tell by the numbers that I have on screen right here. He statically improved every year, and then you look at his World Junior stats here below. He got even better. Had 6 points in 7 games played in 2024. Had 10 in 7 in 2025. This kid's played some phenomenal games, put up some phenomenal numbers. He has top 2 upside for Detroit. I've seen so many people be super high on this player, and for the right reason. He has just such incredible statistics. I am very excited to see ASP in the NHL. He's going to be somebody who we're going to look at down the road and be like, man, he's a big part of the Red Wings roster. And that's the thing. The Red Wings need him too. You look at the Red Wings defense. It's better than it was last year, but it's still not that great. Imagine adding Axel Sandine Pellikka in replacement for Ben Sherratt. That'd be an absolutely dangerous blue line. I cannot wait for this guy to make it to the NHL. And to be honest with you, I think he plays games this year. No denying that whatsoever. He will play for Detroit this year, and it's going to be very exciting when he does. Now we're looking at somebody who was drafted in this past year's draft alongside Carter Barrett's Nikita Tatar, who was a 140th overall pick in the 2005 draft. He was born in Moscow, Russia, 6 foot, 174 pounds. He did play KHL games this past year, but played most of it in the MHL with MHK Spartak. Put up 20 points in 50 games played. That's respectable numbers as a defenseman. He's a puck-moving D-man. That's what I've noticed from some of the draft profiles I've read. The Russian highlights are a little bit more harder to come by, but seeing him in the MHL, he looks like he is improving, and I think that it's going to be a little bit before we see him in the NHL, if he even comes to the NHL at all. But Tatar has some decent numbers there over in the MHL. Those Russians definitely take a little bit more to develop for sure. But I do think that in a couple of years, maybe even 3 or 4 more years down the road, we could see him in the NHL. So that's something to look forward to there. Again, he's one of the guys who was just drafted. He's going to take a little bit, but the excitement is there for Nikita Tatar. Now we look at the goaltenders. And I've been talking about Sebastian Cossa for the Red Wings a lot in the last couple of prospect pool overviews. So we're going to talk about Trey Austinine this time and give him a proper spotlight. This past year with Michigan State, he played phenomenal. He was born in South Lyon, Michigan, 6'1", 194 pounds. I just lost my train of thought there. He was drafted in the second round in 2023. He put up some great numbers for Detroit and Michigan State, not Detroit, this past year. He had a 19.74 record, had a 2.08 goals against average, and a .924. He is confident, has a great demeanor, and is just overall a really good goaltender. I really do think, I know Cossa has that NHL-like body to him, but I think Augustine's going to be better. I think with the numbers he's putting up in college, it's nothing to scoff at. It is phenomenal numbers that Austinine is putting up. And I think that that is really something to take of note. Again, you look at his numbers here. A .928 in the U.S. development program, a .915 his first year at Michigan State, and then a .924 in his second year. Just some great numbers overall in the NCAA level. Now, do I think he's going to make a dent right away? No, he may play in the AHL a little bit. He may take some time to get there. But Austinine looks very exciting. He's going back for another year with MSU. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the NHL. very, very soon for Detroit. They have him alongside Kosa, who we'll get into here in just a moment. That is an exciting prospect pool in terms of the goaltenders for sure. Looking at some of the other prospects in the pool, Sebastian Kosa, 15th overall pick in 2021, played a game for the Red Wings this past year, has been with Grand Rapids for the last 2 seasons, putting up some solid numbers in both of them, has that NHL height to him for sure. This guy I've been hearing a lot of recently, Dmitry Buchelnikov, 2nd round pick in 2022, had 54 points in 65 games played in the KHL this past year. That's some great numbers, and I think this kid could do some real damage when he gets to the NHL. Again, Carter Mazur, we talked about a little bit last year. We actually streamed his first NHL game in the Watch of Nordic streams against St. Louis, or Utah, I believe. And he unfortunately got injured, but he put up some good numbers in the AHL. You also have Enny Genborg, who was just drafted this past year, played games in the SHL, had 2 points. Good numbers there for a young kid who was recently just drafted playing in the SHL. And then Brent Solomon, it was a 4th round pick. He had 6 points in 8 games played in the USHL. He is a right wing. Last but not least, then, we will look at my prospect rankings. It's very hard to rank the top 7, I'm going to be blunt with you. But you have ASP leading the way, there's no doubt about that. Augustine is number 2. Negard is number 3. I like Negard's numbers a lot. Buchelnikov is number 4. You put Kosa there at number 5. Carter Bears at 6. And then Danielson's at 7. I hate to do that because I like Danielson. Mazur's at 8. And then Genborg and Tierin are at 9 and 10. It's overall a very good prospect pool. Probably one of the better ones still. It's definitely top 10 for sure. Let me know your thoughts on my rankings and the overall prospect pool in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video down below and subscribe if you are new. We won't get to a good prospect pool for a while. We got the Oilers and Panthers up next, so those are going to be 2 brutal videos just because it's not a great prospect pool. Oilers is a little bit better, but we shall see. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.